Hello, welcome back to my channel and back to my podcast too, because wherever you're listening from, make yourself comfortable and welcome back. I am your host, Mayra Angelica. So today's topic, we're going to talk about love. Let's get into it. The language that I speak is about love, and when you are pouring out, especially out there to the public, to everyone, even if it's just one-on-one in private, energy just flows and it recognizes your intentions of what your purpose is. And of course, you guys know mine is always, my core values always been happiness, love, and joy. The month of love, it was a little bit of drain, a little bit, I could say, but we're overcoming the rainbow on the sense that I'm not the only one. And again, I'm here. It might be late, but it's very secure of delivery of the message that I'm about to give. And of course, love, it always comes to an intention of the intent of what love is. For myself, is celebrating love always, every day. Don't forget it. Even if you are in a marriage, in a relationship, if you've been in a relationship for the longest, like 4 years, 5 years, or even more, you know that you gotta spice up things and just keep it going, right? So love. And so love is something that has to be expressed all the time and with good intention, so it could flow smoothly through the two people that are connecting. And it doesn't have to be a spouse, it doesn't have to be a boyfriend or girlfriend, but it could be your bestie, your best friend. It could be your bestie, it could be your closest relative, it could be your mom, your dad, your favorite cousin, or someone that you could rely on. Again, love is always expressed wherever you're going. Again, love could be expressed wherever you go. And it just becomes beautiful when you recognize that self-love that you have for yourself, that it doesn't have to be just two people, but love and the signs that it gives you, it just comes about. And it's just amazing because I seen the signs and everywhere, and it's like, it is love. Yeah. It is love. As a single person, as a widow, as you know, some of you guys didn't know, now you know. I'm a widow, I'm single, and yes, I've been trying to get out there for myself. It hasn't been easy. It's not me putting myself fully out there yet, but with the intention of something positive to flow from it. Again, right now, I just finished my self-love journey, and it has been so amazing, just working out the muscle of the self-love that you have for yourself. I do have a guide that I promote, and I do have a community that I'm building out. For myself, it's just been crazy. Just recognizing and doing the workbook and everything is like, wow. Especially if you have gone through some difficult or trauma within your life of, losing someone. If you could relate, for myself, I lost someone, and I have to speak from it because it's beautiful. All the positive memories that we have to talk about, it's just wonderful, especially if you have kids, if you have family, if you have your mom and dad. It's just more of everything that aligns to your purpose here. And again, going back to dating, I am gonna be putting myself out there whole, but at the moment is just finishing that journey. The self-love last month, it was just beautiful. I gifted myself like I normally do. I intentionally gave my kids the best Valentine's ever that day. Something that never was done as myself being a child, living a teenage life. Everything that we go through is just as ourselves, just being that healing that inner child within ourselves and just giving to people what we always wanted as growing up. And it was just beautiful. I helped out one of my kids with their relationships, to buy things and give it to their partner. And again, it was just beautiful because one of my kids, they got surprised. They didn't know it was coming, but it was beautiful, just expressing everything, the self-love, the flowers, the balloons, the chocolates. Did give someone like a bouquet of roses. It was so beautiful. Again, that was just unconditional love, no expectations. You gotta have love. You gotta have love with the intention that you gotta detach from and just let it be unconditional. Don't have high expectations. Of course, yeah, you need to have high expectations, but to a limit where you need to detach, because that's where it becomes overwhelmed, depressed, very emotional. But you gotta keep moving forward and just look at it as a bright blooming of what you put out there in the world. So hopefully this makes sense to anyone. I know it's gonna reach a lot of people, and just that one person that will change their whole life. And again, I'm just very honored to be here and tell you guys, what is love? For myself, it just takes time. And as I've been learning on this personal development journey to develop what is love, is that two people get to know each other. And again, it doesn't have to be physical touch. It does not have to be rushed. When you get to meet someone, you could text them, but don't have that high expectation to just text back, because that's what normal people do. But when you have that self-control, there is a rule, if you want to quote me on that, but there's a rule that I have learned as an entrepreneur. Give it 3 days, okay? Give it 3 days. After that, the person leaves you on red. Well, you just gotta keep moving forward. It does hurt. We're normal. We're humans. We're having a human expression. I've been there. But, within reality is just getting to know the person. Don't rush into anything. The number one thing that I want to say that I seen and I have felt never giving up is you got to have goals, both of you, whether it's you and the other person have personal goals, right? But then you have to come together and have that one goal as a couple together. So it could be three five-fold, to strengthen that. It's just like a rope, okay? It's a rope of being a 3x4 to strengthen that, and that no one could break that. And it comes to the same thing if you are a social media influencer or you're just starting. You have to put your foot down, kindly and gentle, to talk to the person, and it has to come down to that. It has to come to that. I know it might feel awkward, but if you're open, and again, don't feel bad if you fail, but you have to be open, especially if you're out there sharing your story like the way I'm doing right now on my YouTube, podcast, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, anywhere. You gotta put your foot down on that. It's just like a consent, getting that consent, especially when you are having relationships. It's like a consent. You have to get a consent from the other person. You have to get a consent, because it's very important. If you already got the nail down or the foot down on what you're doing on your self-entrepreneur career, whatever you're doing on social media, you gotta get the point across for the other person to understand. If the other person will vocabulary, on my language barrier, but you gotta ask. And it comes to kind of like a business. In the long run, it does come to that, and you have to sit down. And again, it takes time. I mean, the physical touch, it will just come mutually. The love and everything, the energy is just there. It just comes to, you know, having the qualities and working together. And there's not much to say other than that I know, that I've seen. Sometimes as a human, as a, you know, we come with the basics when we start to date, and the normal thing is just being yourself. We become shy, we become all this human experiences that we have through dating. But if you become your authentic self of being who you are, it is just more of the flaws that the other person will see, and it comes a long way. Whether you are, you know, it's here's a metaphor. It's like just going on a date, right? And going on a date and sitting on a table, and, you know, the little things that just are very flawed, that are very weird or embarrassed, it does comes about in the long run. And the more you put yourself out there, you become that strength at the beginning of the relationship. Again, this is my own opinion, this is my own experience. I have, you know, gotten married twice, and within those, sitting back and analyzing everything that is in the table is, you know, what needed to work, what needed to be success in the relationship, what got done, right? And one of the best things is, what are you bringing to the table to give value to that person, and what are they bringing to the table to give value to you? So it's very key. It goes hand in hand. It goes way beyond. One of the things that I do want to speak about, and again, I don't mention names, it does not serve me, but it becomes from my own experience. One of the stories I want to tell you all is that when I was losing weight on my journey, it's very key, very important, because I saw the difference and the transformation, whether it's positive. And I have always had goals to lose weight and work out, which I let my other, you know, partner know that I was losing weight and I was working out, and that person did see I was working out. I was still going to the gym as I was pregnant, and within that, I had my child, and I lost a lot of weight. And for some of y'all saw that I lost tons of weight. I was breastfeeding. That was a key. I was breastfeeding. But anyways, that'll be another different topic. But I lost 56 pounds in 3 months. And when you lose a lot of weight, like, and you don't have muscle, the muscle that has to be toned, you lose your body just becomes different. And when my spouse saw that I, you know, when it comes to physical touch and, you know, lovey, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna get into details. You could see the difference when you become self-aware and the other person becomes like, wow, you're a different person. Like, they feel like, basically, I'm gonna say it, you become like they're cheating on you, because you have a new body, like losing all this weight. It's a new you, but you don't see that, and that becomes a self-aware, a self-awake. And I knew that my spouse was kind of not approving to that. And besides, with everything that was going on in his life, for myself, it was positive. It was like, all right, I reached my goal, and here's my other goal, you know, maintaining healthy. I want to build muscle to fill in those spots with protein muscle, with the real thing. But again, you have to, you know, sit down and make those declarations of what you want in your life. And that's how you become more happier, and the other person becomes more happier because they have the opportunity to have that declaration to pursue what they want in life, and it becomes more stronger to the bond that you have as a relationship. So when it comes to a relationship for myself, it's been a long time. This year it is going to be 3 years that my second spouse passed away. And some people have asked, like, why haven't you dated? Why haven't you been out there? From my first marriage, when I went through divorce, I stayed 7 years single. It was not easy. And of course, now this time, like they call it, going through the second rodeo. But the rodeo has been different. I lost my spouse, and it's sad to say. It's sad to say because, there were so many plans that were planned out, and to get out there again, it's not easy. Again, you have your priorities of who you are, what you want in a relationship, especially when you have kids. It just becomes the core values of who you are. It's not just jumping in and just going out there for whatever, you have to know there is rules. There is a high authority, which is the universe, God, whatever you believe on, to strengthen that and not just go foolishly into a relationship just like that. And it has been a journey within myself. I have been working so hard on myself, even more with the self-aware of what really love is. And you don't have to just go out there and find it, but you could stay single. I could do to the people that are single out there, because I had plans to stay single, but again, like I mentioned to family, to other people, I want to grow up and still share my life with other people. My kids are growing up, they're about to just graduate and go off, and I want to live life, but I want to share it with someone, and I want that person to share their life with me. And it's just beautiful, and it's just amazing how two people become what God created to continue the purpose in life. One of the things I wanted to mention is throughout my life, and actually started in college, I gave a guy flowers, and the way I did it, I know it sounds insane, but hear me out why I'm saying this. So I put roses, okay? I put roses in his car on the dash outside, and then I put like the bouquet, whatever it was left, I put the bouquet in his door and with the note, and he was surprised. He saw the love that I had for him. We did dated, but there were some things that just, going on in his life. And again, it was just college. We were just getting to know each other. The other time I gave another guy, roses, and he was very surprised. Okay, hear me out. Okay, I know I'm sharing too much, but hear me out of why I have done all this. And recently but last year I gave someone flowers. Okay, and again, I'm a girl, I'm a woman, and these roses have been given to men. Okay, so men have been surprised on that. So giving flowers to a man, there is so much meaning on it. And as you can see right here, there is statistics that only men receive flowers or roses when they die. Okay, it is sad to say that, but seeing that statistics on Google is just mind-blowing. So if you have a dad, a son, a husband, and a grandpa, a male, just go out there and show them the love that you have and give them flowers. Because it is sad to say that men just women, we receive flowers all day. It's a fountain of just flowers. And again, it's just so amazing to share the love. And sometimes men have become very masculine. When you become feminine to yourself to share the love to the masculine, they will know what it feels like. And it just becomes more of the nature of nurturing who they are and just praising them in their masculine. And again, the love, it has to be within yourself to start off. Love is just, don't forget, if you're a woman, don't forget to love yourself. And if you're by yourself and running this whole world by yourself, just remember, you're not by yourself. You are here with us behind in the group. And I understand that sometimes running with the masculine energy, it is tiring. It's a burnout. And sometimes you want to look for a man just to balance out life and for you to continue to be your own feminine self. And again, that is manageable within our human self. But if you want to, be with the masculine, just, understand that he will have his own feminist, not to be weak, but to strengthen and balance each other within this whole purpose of what we have here on earth. Thank you all. Thank you all. That is all. And I want to say, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment wherever you're hearing from, whether it's from my podcast or from YouTube. We are here. It is available to listen through the iHeartRadio, Spotify, from anywhere. Just link on the link. And I am your host, Mayra Angelica. Let's go.